Okay, welcome to CIS1103. This is chapter 3, week 4. Here we will talk about introduction to computer network or networking. Okay, what is networking, by the way? Is the internet a network?
Yes.
Yes, it is a very big network, worldwide network. Okay. The internet is an internetwork without a specific owner. Give me examples of networks like what? Small office, home office. SOHO يعني small office, home office. We have medium to large networks, smartphones, they are connected to network. Wearable devices, you know the wearable devices like a smartwatch, Fitbit type for walking, exercising, smart TVs now. So what is a computer network? It's a collection of computers and devices. We call them end systems. They are connected together using network devices, and they transmit data through transmission medium. Okay, the protocols are used to control how the data will flow in the network. Okay, the network can be small or large. It can connect computers, printers. These are the type of infrastructure network, the network infrastructure. We have different categories of hardware. Can you see it or is it small? Here. We have end devices, computers, laptop, printer, iPhone. We have intermediate devices. Intermediate devices are like the wireless router, the access point. See the access point there on top? هاي اللي هناك شايفين الأبيض هذا؟ شايفه؟ Okay. And then we have the network media or cable or wireless. What is end devices? Give me example. Computers, laptop, tablet, phone, okay? Camera even, security camera. Yeah, end device, yeah. How do they connect? Using the network card, NIC, network interface card. Okay, so it's a communication device that enables a computer or device to have networking capabilities to access the network. They coordinate the transmission and reception of data. Intermediate devices, they interconnect end devices on the network. They work connectivity and work behind the scenes to make sure that the data is flowing, your network is working. We have examples, switches, routers, modem, WAB. WAB يعني what? That device, wireless access point. Okay, you need to know these symbols. Function of network devices. A switch is a device that channels incoming data from any of multiple input ports to the specified output port. Okay. A router is a networking device that forwards data packets between computer networks. It provides the traffic routing or directing. It will interconnect networks together. The switch is working inside your LAN. But if you want to interact with other networks, you have to go through the router. Modem, okay, اللي هو modulator, demodulator, modulates outgoing digital signal from a computer to analog signal. On the receiver side, it will convert it from analog into digital. What about this device? What is this? wireless access point, WAP, allows a Wi-Fi compliant device to connect to a wired network. They come in different shapes. Network media or cabling. Okay. We have copper. We have fiber optic, electromagnetic waves. Okay. Signal consists of electrical or optical patterns that are transmitted from one connected device to another. And there are three common methods of signal transmission. في عندنا اللي هو electrical signal, high voltage, low voltage. يعني مثلا if it's one, it is high voltage, for example. Or we have optical signal اللي هي through fiber optic cable. And we have wireless signal, like now we are using wireless signal. By the way, we all know that computer only understand digital, binary, 0 and 1. So everything has to be converted into 0 and 1. Okay? 0 and 1 is a bit. So bit is the smallest digit. Can be 0 or 1. ما في غير 0 or 1. ما في 1.5 or 0 or 1. Okay? Then we have also ASCII. ASCII, each character is represented by 8 bits. يعني مثلا letter A هاي الكود الASCII code تبعنا. And 9, this is the ASCII code for 9. ASCII مش الباينري، الASCII اللي هو رمز. الكيبورد لما اخترعوا when they invented these keyboards, each letter has an ASCII code by American standards. Okay. Bandwidth, what is bandwidth? Is the capacity of a medium to carry data. Okay. And digital bandwidth measures the amount of data that can flow from one place to another. And the unit for bandwidth is bits per second. And these are the different units. BBS, bits per second. MBBS, يعني megabits per second, يعني 1 million bits per second, 1 mega. 1 giga يعني 1000 mega. تيرا بايت. هاي أكبر يا 1000 جي 1000 جي بي يس. Sorry. No, but there are some bandwidth, some sizes, hard disk size. Okay, 1 giga يعني 1 million bit. نبدأ من here. 1 bit, 1000 bit, 1000 bit, 1 million bit, 1 giga اللي هي 10 to the power 9, 1 tera is 10 to the power 12. Throughput is the measure of the successful transfer of bits, يعني how much data already transferred. سميها throughput. Bandwidth is the capacity, how much can go. But throughput, how much actually went through. Understood the difference? Latency اللي هو delay, تأخير, to the amount of time including delays for data to travel from one given point to another. We call it latency. Network models. Topology, it describes how parts of the network work together. يعني diagram and networking topology connection. We have physical topology. It will show you where the hardware, which room, which location they are installed. Logical, it will give you the IP addresses, the logical connection of the devices. Okay. So this drawing, what do you think? This is a logical diagram or typical or digital or logical? What do we have here? We have IP addresses, صح? Do we have room numbers, location, which floor? This one is logical topology. شباب logical يعني الرسمة اللي فيها ال IP address, الكونكشن. الفيزيكال توبولوجي من فيزيكال يعني شو which room, which location, which floor, wiring, you know. This is how you differentiate between them. So what about this diagram? This is what? Physical. تمام؟ يعني الفيزيكال بيكون تقريبا مثل الصورة. Client and server role. Clients are computer hosts that have software that enables the host to request information and display it. Yani your computer here is a client. Your laptop is a client in the network. Server is the one like in the data center in our server room that receive the requests and give the output, the result. We have different type of servers. We have email server, web server, and file server. So please have a look at it here and just see the difference between them. Email runs email server software. Web runs web server software. For example, we have Windows Internet Explorer. Now we use Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. File server, it stores corporate and user files in central location. For example, we use Windows File Explorer to access them. You know the Windows File Explorer? This one. The File Explorer. See this one? Yeah, File Explorer. Server can have multiple roles in the network. Okay? And a single computer can run multiple types of server software. يعني مثلا if you are at home, you don't need to buy one server for printing, one server for files, one server for email. It's not practical. So you can have one server, but it will do many roles. Okay. Client-server network is helpful for us, especially if you have a small network or you have a company or a big network, because user accounts and passwords are assigned in one place. Access to multiple shared resources is centralized, and you can monitor, you can check security things. What are the disadvantages? You will need a specialized network operating system, so it's more expensive. You need specialists to maintain the network, and IT admin. And if like the server is down, then many applications are down because they depend on the server. Peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer is like if you don't have a network at home and you are connected to a printer, you want to share the printer with your colleague or with someone at home or at the office, you can just click and share the printer. This is called peer-to-peer network. So there is no security, it's not complicated, but it's not scalable, meaning if you have big network, this will not work. It will be very slow. Usually, if you have more than 10 to 15 users, peer-to-peer is not practical. Okay? Any questions? So these are the advantages and disadvantages of peer-to-peer network. You need to know this. P2P and peer-to-peer network. Okay, so here we have client server. This is the peer-to-peer network. For network types, we have LAN, metropolitan, wide area network. And the main difference between them is the area of coverage. For LAN, it's for a small geographical area. It's managed by the user. You will have someone to manage the network. It's very fast. We have also something called wireless LAN. It uses no physical wires. it uses a wired LAN for access to its resources. So here in the LAN, you will have a switch. Now let's move to the hardware that's used in the LAN. This is my LAN. This is the cable. We call this network backbone cable. Then we have 3 switches, and each switch, we have many computers connected to it. So this is a LAN. Do we see any router here? No. It's not needed. Also, we have, if I want to connect my LAN to the internet or to another LAN, I will need a router. Okay. Routers can be used in small home networks. Okay. And industrial grade routers, they are more expensive. The difference between router and switch is router is like a gateway between networks and belongs to 2 or more local networks. A switch belongs only to its local network. The router is like this door, the gateway. You cannot go out to another network unless you go through the router. So always think of it like that. Okay. Then we have metropolitan area network. Metropolitan is bigger than LAN but smaller than WAN. Okay, it's a high-speed network that connects local area networks in a metropolitan area. Metropolitan يعني city, town, downtown. المكان اللي بيكون مليان buildings or towers. Okay. And usually it's managed by a consortium of users or by the network provider. The WAN covering large geographical area, maybe countries, cities, okay? And it is slower than LAN, usually, but it is more expensive. And in order to use WAN, you have to go through the telecom provider. You cannot do a WAN by yourself without having some connection, some subscription. Okay. Any questions?